Level 1, the Orphan. You are 7 years old. You do not remember your last name. You do not remember your parents. You only remember the crushing, suffocating hunger of the streets. You live in a forgotten slum, fighting wild dogs for pieces of stale bread. You are completely invisible to the world. Then, a man in a dark suit finds you. He does not offer you a toy. He does not offer you a family. He offers you a single bowl of white rice and a choice. You eat the rice. You are blindfolded. You are placed in the back of a cargo truck with a dozen other starving children from around the world. You are driven for 3 days. When the blindfold is finally removed, you are standing in the freezing mud of a secluded mountain courtyard. You look up at the towering, ancient wooden walls. You have just been brought to the Ozunu Clan. They do not care about your past. They only care about what they can turn you into. You are no longer a child. You are raw iron, waiting to be forged. The training begins immediately. It is not a martial arts class. It is systematic, physical, and psychological torture. You are forced to stand barefoot on free zones for 12 hours a day. If you shiver, you are beaten with a bamboo cane. If you cry, you are beaten harder. You are taught that pain is an illusion. You are taught that weakness is a disease. You sleep on a hard wooden floor in a room with 50 other orphans. You do not speak to them. Friendship is a vulnerability. Over the next few years, you watch the weaker children disappear. Some die from exposure. Some die from the beatings. Some simply give up and are taken away in the middle of the night. You do not ask where they go. You just focus on the rhythmic, agonizing repetition of your strikes. You punch a wooden post, wrapped in rough rope, until your knuckles bleed. Then, you punch it until the bones calcify and your hands turn into literal hammers. You are completely stripped of your humanity. You are being designed from the ground up to be the ultimate instrument of death. You are 7 years old, and your life as a normal human being is completely over. Level 2, the Initiate. You are 14 years old. Your body is a map of terrifying scars. You have survived the culling. You are now permitted to handle the ancient weapons of the clan. You are not handed a simple sword. You are handed the Kyoketsu Shoge. It is a terrifying complex weapon, a heavy metal ring attached to a long iron chain ending in a double-edged blade with a curved hook. It is designed to trap, to disarm, and to violently dismember. You practice with it for 18 hours a day. You swing the heavy chain until your shoulders tear. You slice your own arms open by mistake dozens of times. But you do not go to a doctor. The clan does not use modern medicine. You are taught ancient esoteric breathing techniques. You learn to control your own heart rate, slowing your blood flow, using your own meditation to physically heal your wounds. You are a machine. But somewhere, deep inside the armor of your mind, a tiny shred of humanity still exists. There is a girl in your training cohort. Her name is Kiriko. She is the only person who has ever shown you kindness. She sneaks you extra rations of water. When the masters are not looking, you develop a quiet, secret bond. But kindness is fatal in the Ozunu Clan. She becomes disenchanted with the endless brutality. One rainy, pitch-black night, she attempts to escape. She scales the massive stone wall of the fortress. She begs you to come with her. You look at the wall. You look at her. But the brainwashing is too deep. You are paralyzed by the fear of the masters. You refuse. She is caught before she reaches the forest. The entire clan is assembled in the courtyard. You are forced to stand in the front row. You watch in absolute suffocating horror as an older ninja named Takeshi steps forward. He does not hesitate. He drives a blade directly through Kiriko's heart. She looks at you as she falls. She dies in the mud. You do not blink. You do not cry out. If you show a single emotion, Takeshi will kill you too. You lock your soul into a tiny, dark box. You bury it. You realize that to survive in this clan, you cannot just learn how to kill. You must become completely, absolutely dead inside. Level 3, the Blade. You are 19 years old. You are no longer a student. You are an asset. You are given your first official assassination contract. The Ozunu Clan does not work for cheap thugs. They offer their services to the wealthiest, most powerful clients on Earth. Corrupt politicians, global syndicates, and warlords. The fee for an assassination is absolute. 100 pounds of solid gold. The clan does not accept cash. The clan does not accept wire transfers. Only gold. Your target is a group of heavily armed gangsters operating out of a skyscraper in Berlin. You do not take a commercial flight. You are smuggled into Germany inside a shipping container. You arrive at the target building at midnight. You do not use the doors. You scale the sheer glass face of the skyscraper, using only the microscopic gaps in the window frames. You slip through a ventilation shaft. You drop into a room filled with 10 heavily armed men. They have automatic weapons. You have the Kaioketsu Shoge. The combat is not like the movies. It is silent. It is blindingly fast. It is a horrifying display of absolute butchery. The chain wraps around throats. The blade slices through arteries before they can even reach for their triggers. Blood paints the walls in thick, heavy arcs. In less than 40 seconds, 9 men are dead on the carpet. The last man is backing away, trembling, dropping his gun. He is not a gangster. He is just an accountant, a civilian. But the ancient absolute rule of the Ozunu Clan echoes in your head. Kill any witnesses in the vicinity, leave no one behind. You do not feel pity. You flick your wrist. The blade sinks into his chest. You extract through the roof. You walk through the freezing rain of Berlin, completely invisible in the shadows. You find a cold, dark river, and you wash the blood off your hands. You realize that you just ended 10 human lives for a pile of gold you will never even see. You are a ghost. You are a weapon. And you function perfectly. Level 4, the Executioner. You are 25 years old. Your reputation within the clan is flawless. You are moving up the hierarchy. You are no longer just sent after external targets. You are sent after your own. You are an executioner. Your job is to hunt down the traitors, the ones who try to run. The modern world is encroaching on the ancient shadows. International law enforcement agencies are starting to notice the patterns. A brilliant, relentless Europol agent named Mika Coretti has been investigating a string of high-level, money-linked political murders. She starts tracking the gold. She starts finding the whispers of the Ozunu Clan in secret agency files. Her superior, Agent Ryan Maslow, thinks she is chasing a myth. He thinks ninjas belong in comic books. But you know better. You are sent to Paris. A former Klan member, a man who trained with you 10 years ago, has defected. He is trying to trade Klan secrets to Europol in exchange for immunity. You track him to a heavily guarded safe house. There are 6 tactical police officers outside his door. You do not engage them. You do not waste movement. You slip through a skylight, hanging upside down by your ankles. You find him sitting on a bed, clutching a pistol, terrified. He sees you drop from the ceiling. He doesn't even try to shoot. He knows it is useless. He looks you in the eyes, and he asks for mercy. He tells you he has a child now. You look at his face, and for a fraction of a second, you remember Kiriko. You remember the rain. You remember the girl bleeding in the mud. The hesitation is microscopic, but it is there. Then, the programming takes over. You draw your sword. You sever his head with one fluid motion. You leave the body for the Europol agents to find. You return to the mountain retreat. You kneel before Lord Ozunu. You report the success of the mission. But deep down, the hesitation terrifies you. You realize that the brainwashing is starting to crack. The ghost is starting to remember what it feels like to be human. And in your line of work, humanity is a terminal illness. Level 5, the Shadow Weaver. You are 32 years old. You are the elite of the elite. You have transcended physical combat. You have mastered the ultimate, most terrifying technique of the Ozunu Clan, shadow blending. You do not just hide in the dark, you become the dark. You learn to manipulate the ambient light, moving your body at exact angles, matching your breathing to the absolute stillness of your environment. To the human eye, you literally disappear into the shadows. You are sent on the most impossible missions. A corrupt defense minister locked inside a reinforced subterranean military bunker in Eastern Europe. He is surrounded by 50 armed soldiers. There are biometric scanners on every door. You do not breach the doors. You wait. You wait for 3 days, hidden inside a utility closet, slowing your heart rate to 10 beats a minute, eating nothing, drinking nothing. You wait until the minister is walking down a dimly lit corridor, surrounded by his personal guard. You step out of the darkness. You do not run. You glide. You use the shadow blending technique. The guards are looking right at you, but their brains cannot process your silhouette. You slip between them, like smoke passing through a chain-link fence. You drive a poisoned needle directly into the minister's neck. He collapses. The guards panic. They start firing their weapons wildly into the empty air, shooting each other in the confusion. You are already gone. You are back in the shadows, clinging to the ceiling, watching the chaos unfold. You are making the clan billions of dollars in extortion and contract fees. You are a living legend in the underworld, but your soul is completely, utterly destroyed. You cannot sleep anymore. When you close your eyes, You see the faces of the hundreds of people you've slaughtered. You see the accountant in Berlin. You see the defector in Paris. You see the endless, crushing river of blood that you have spilled to appease a lord who views you as nothing more than a tool. The weapon is starting to hate the hand that wields it. Level 6, the successor. You are 40 years old. You have survived longer than almost any other assassin in the history of the clan. Your lethality is unmatched. Lord Ozunu calls you to his private chambers. The room smells of ancient incense and cold stone. He sits on a raised dais. He is an old man, but his eyes are as sharp and cold as a razor. He looks at you, and he gives you the ultimate honor. He names you his successor. When he dies, you will rule the Ozunu Clan. He begins to show you the true machinery of the empire. You are not just a cult of killers in the mountains. You are a massive, global corporation of death. He shows you the ledgers, the staggering amounts of gold hidden in underground vaults across the world. He shows you the lists of your clients, prime ministers, CEOs of massive tech conglomerates, royalty. The people who stand in front of cameras and preach about peace are the exact same people who pay the Ozunu Clan to slit the throats of their political rivals in the dark. You realize the absolute, sickening hypocrisy of the world. The clan is not an anomaly. The clan is a necessary service, demanded by the highest levels of human society. But with the promotion comes the final test. To prove your absolute loyalty, to prove you are worthy of leading the clan, Lord Ozunu brings a young, terrified girl before you, a runaway, an orphan, just like you were. She tried to escape the compound. He hands you a sword. He orders you to execute the traitor. You hold the hilt of the sword. It feels incredibly heavy. You look at the girl. She is crying. You look at Lord Ozunu. You look at the other masters standing around the room. You have killed hundreds of strangers without a second thought. But executing this child, right here, right now, means finally and permanently destroying the last atom of your own humanity. You realize that to become the lord of the clan, you must become the very monster that kidnapped you from the streets 33 years ago. Level 7, the clan lord. You are 50 years old. The old lord is dead. You are now Lord Ozunu. You sit on the raised dais. You wear the heavy dark robes of the master. You look out over the courtyard, watching hundreds of starving, traumatized orphans punching wooden posts, bleeding into the mud. You are the god of this mountain. You negotiate the contracts. When a cartel boss in Mexico wants a rival eliminated, you demand the 100 pounds of gold. When a corrupt European banking executive needs a whistleblower silenced, you dispatch your shadows. But your absolute power is a suffocating, terrifying prison. You know that the assassins you created, the perfect, emotionless killing machines standing guard outside your door, have absolutely no loyalty to you as a human being. Their loyalty is only to the clan. If you show a single sign of weakness, if you miss a step in your training, one of them will slide a blade into your spine while you sleep and take your place. You do not trust your food. You do not trust your commanders. You sleep with a drawn sword resting across your knees, and the outside world is closing in. Europol has not stopped. Agent Ryan Maslow and his tactical teams are getting closer. They have found the money trails. They have seized your gold shipments. They have captured some of your lower-level operatives. You order massive, brutal retaliations. You send teams of ninjas to infiltrate Europol safe houses. You order them to slaughter everyone inside. You escalate the violence, because violence is the only language you have ever learned. You think you are protecting the ancient traditions of the clan. But in reality, your absolute, unyielding brutality is drawing a massive, highly militarized target directly onto your own back. Level 8, the Reckoning. You are 55 years old. It is the middle of the night in the secluded mountain retreat. The silence is absolute. Then the sky explodes. It is not magic. It is military technology. Europol Special Forces, led by Agent Maslow, have found your fortress. They tracked a rogue operative, one of your own pupils who finally broke his brainwashing, directly to your doorstep. They do not try to fight you in the dark. They know the shadows belong to you. They launch hundreds of high-intensity, military-grade flares into the sky. The burning magnesium turns the pitch-black mountain night into blinding, searing daylight. The advantage of the ninja is instantly neutralized. Your assassins run into the courtyard, confused, stripped of their darkness. The special forces open fire with heavy, suppressed automatic weapons. The tactical teams move with precision, using night vision and thermal optics. Your ancient, perfect warriors are being systematically gunned down by modern, overwhelming firepower. The wooden walls of your fortress catch fire. The smoke fills the air. You walk out into the burning courtyard. You do not run, you draw your sword. Through the smoke, a figure approaches. It is not a soldier. It is Raizo, the orphan you trained, the successor who refused to execute the girl, the pupil who betrayed you to find his own humanity. He is armed with the Kyoketsu Shoge. He looks at you, and there is no fear in his eyes anymore, only vengeance. The military forces step back, allowing the two of you to settle the ancient blood debt. You engage in the final duel. The blades clash with terrifying speed. Sparks fly as the iron chain wraps around your sword. You use the shadow blending technique, moving through the thick smoke, striking from impossible angles. You are faster. You are more experienced. You wound him deeply. But he is fueled by something you completely destroyed in yourself decades ago. He is fueled by love. He is fueled by the memory of Kiriko. He is fighting for his freedom. You are only fighting for your chains. He breaks your defense. He drives the blade deep into your chest. You fall to your knees in the mud. The flares are burning out. The darkness is slowly returning to the mountain. You look around at the burning ruins of the Ozunu Clan. The hundreds of bodies scattered in the dirt. You realize the ultimate tragic paradox of the ninja assassin. You built a machine designed to be absolutely perfect, absolutely ruthless, and absolutely without mercy. But you forgot the most basic rule of nature. When you build a perfect weapon, and you beat it, and torture it, and force it to kill the innocent, eventually, that weapon will turn around and point itself directly at the man who forged it. You cough up blood. You look up at your rogue pupil as he pulls the blade free, and for the first time in 48 years, you finally feel the pain.